It is the end of August, and it is not comfortable. I think this week it was a little cooler in the morning, so we got down below 80, which we all get excited about. And then we roll into September and it gets right above 80 again, always. Mm-hmm. A couple things I got a shot of this morning was the moringa, right? Mm-hmm. We planted that back at the end of June. And it's probably, what, a good 3 feet tall? Maybe 3.5 feet tall?
Yeah.
So doing fantastic and growing really good, putting on a lot of new growth. Those moringa love this time of year. One of the things about these little piglets is every once in a while, I don't know how. Do you even know how this happens? They get this ball on the end of their tail.
We've never had that happen before that I remember, and this is the third one. It must just be that their wallow is so like muddy. Mm-hmm. It starts and it just keeps building, and it's pretty funny.
Probably because their tail curls, so it kind of catches it in there. But eventually it does fall off, and it's funny because you see this ball of basically clay, mud, whatever.
Yeah.
Really shows you that our dirt just turns into brick. One of the things about this time of year is you get all of that desert growth, all these weeds that grow up and turns into tumbleweed, right, eventually. But we've been pulling that, collecting it, and this morning we fed it to the goats. And so far it looks like they're kind of eating it, so we'll see. We just cut back on their alfalfa a little bit, and they tend to be a little hungrier, and they start eating some of those weeds. And then we got the shot of that Japanese beetles, or the fig-eater beetles. The ducks love those things.
They love them. They chase them all the time when they come in the enclosure, and they're good. I mean, they catch them out of, out of the air and do a good job, and they just gobble them right up.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that was really clear this morning, we were working on the turkeys, is they are at 4 weeks old. They are completely filling that brooder. Mm-hmm. So we got to do something about that.
Yes.
Let's go do it.
Okay.
Cleaned up the leaves. Alright, you can drop that.
Come on, jump in!
Jump in!
There you go!
I like this. Come on, there you go.
Come on, guys!
This looks great, they're auto loading.
Up here, up here! You little one.
Uh-oh, down you go. Alright, let's go everybody.
Come on, we're going! We're going! We're going!
Barely, but it did. All right. They're fine. Boy.
So we finally got the turkeys moved out of the brooder since they were filling that out and got them in a tractor. We're only going to keep them in here for maybe a couple weeks until we get them moved over into the permanent enclosure that we have for them next to the turkey pasture.
Oh, I could have probably.
Grab some.
When we started this morning, there was one little cloud, and you said if you could just follow us today,
yeah,
that would be great. And your wish came true.
I know, but it's more than just the one cloud now, so a bunch more came.
Well, if you think about it, think about it this way: it is one cloud split up over a large area.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way I see it, at least. So we got the turkeys moved.
Yes.
It was funny to see them go right at dust baths.
I know.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
4 weeks old, and we had several of them back there. I mean, that just tells you that innate. They take dust baths. It's just what they do, and they know that's what we do. It's what we're designed to do. So we got some pruning done today, and if you guys haven't joined us on the Desert Farmer podcast, we do that every Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Your mulberry trees, because the sap runs so heavy, I would not suggest purposely pruning during the entire growing season, and that doesn't really matter where you're at. So even for us here in Arizona. Now, if you need to do some pruning because you have a broken branch, obviously prune that broken branch off. You don't want that to continue.
So we talked a little bit about pruning, I think that was last week, and the fact that we don't do any summer pruning. But today, you saw us doing summer pruning. So those are the blackberries. Those are quite a bit different. What happens is the canes from last year all supported growth and production, and then what happens is this year they die. So keep that in mind when you're planting your blackberries. You're gonna wind up having to do some pruning. We usually prune those a couple times a year. We usually prune them in the spring, and then we prune them again now because all the new large canes are starting to push out growth, and more importantly, they're starting to push out some flowers.
Yes.
Which is really cool. So that primal cane of the Primark blackberry, you know, that is our go-to, the Primark Freedom Blackberry. That is a great blackberry for us here in Arizona, and it pushes out basically 2 crops, first year canes, and then it'll push out even more growth when we get to spring of next year. So we'll take most of the dead cuttings, we'll get those chipped up this week, add to the mulch piles all over the farm. What was interesting though, is we had some visitors.
Oh, yeah.
So we tried to feed them some of the blackberry, and they were not interested. They checked it out.
They ate a little bit,
yeah, but they weren't interested in that. Ate some weeds around the farm, which was nice. Thanks for the cleanup. We appreciate that. But it does show you the difference between sheep and goats.
Yeah.
Because we took a few over to the goats, and it won't take long. The goats will completely devour those.
They'll be gone.
They will be completely gone. That's the difference between sheep and goats, is the sheep will eat the grass, a little bit of weeds, and the goats want to have your trees.
Yeah.
They want your bushes and trees. So we're not going to be covering it today, but we will be working on a project adding to the nursery here on the farm for our fall farm tour, have something else available for you guys. So we are going to have to get those planted out, prepped today, and planted out here over the next couple days. That way they're grown out and ready for that tour. So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here on this newly established functioning farm and would love to see on a regular basis. If you have any questions or comments, those go in the
comment section down below.
And our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in the description. That's a free, painless way to help support the channel. If you start with the link down below, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere,
so can you.
All right. Go, sweets.
Just as Willow comes over.
Hey, Willow girl.
Can you guys all jump in
Fly
here?
right into there.
Almost. Almost. I didn't catch you. Sorry, buddy.
I got you. Don't worry, bud.
Can you guys jump in there?
Jump in. Jump in. Go on.